The Nectar of Devotion by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Chapter 13, the Maha Mantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Srimad Bhagavatam 2:1-11 indicates that the perfection that we are looking for is the unscheduled draw to using spiritual formulas. As far as the results of such, near Nitam, it is already decided. It is already decided what these formulas are as well. Sukadeva Gosvami believed that the trials of life were such that an individual already had success with them if they were able to repeat such spiritual formulas. The Adi Purana indicates that those who are using the mantras are ones that you will think about or who will remain associated in thought with the tradition. The Padma Purana indicates that the ability to use such sacred formulas came over time. Now we see that some scriptures may have been made possible because there were previous scriptures. And whether you believe in reincarnation or not, our transmigration has opportunities that are the result of cycles before this physical body. We look at even the composition of this earth. That took multiple star systems to produce. The one we're in now couldn't produce some of those things. The Padma Purana indicates that when you do the physical prostrations, making the physical pilgrimage, well, the physical pilgrimage contains prostrations, but that's not mentioned in the verse, but the ill results on the spiritual platform can be lifted from one's entire existence. And that's one of the beliefs about the biggest pilgrimage in the world. And that is going on as I'm recording this video. People say, well, the 8th through the 10th are the only days that are required to take part in it. But outside of that, during this month, particularly till the 13th is over, that pilgrimage still goes on. And it's believed that an accepted pilgrimage is how you're forgiven for everything prior, or even during if you make some mistake, if it's, if you've operated to the point where that is that. Now, the sort of devotion that a person takes part in, particularly when using the correct formulas, it works on one's feelings, it works on one's emotions, it works on one's psychology. And anybody can refer to the most sacred places respectfully. And maybe they don't understand everything, but if they just have this belief and they work on this belief, that will benefit towards them. If we just start on such processes to go to such places, perhaps that can awaken something in us that will be the means that we liberate ourselves. Now, living in the sacred precincts of the most sacred places is one thing. Certainly pilgrimage and retreat has more merit if you have to travel to it, right? If it's not the regular thing. Some people are going to read or recite scripture. Other people are going to listen to it. Some people are going to help those who are devotees. Some people will say just a formula. You need to distinguish between acceptable religious formulas and forms and those which are revealed and inspired. You know, it's not the same thing. Now, certain forms will get you away from merely wanting to have friends, merely being accepted by society. Sure, there may be no reason, no good reason anyways, for them to not accept you. But these certain forms, like for example, the reference to illumination, the reference to being over duality, the reference to being beyond the purification. And Rupa Gosvami also indicates that we need to step away from these mere fruitive results as much as they can be produced by Scripture. And certainly certain goals of fruitive results can spoil the whole thing. If you're worshiping for fame and money and power and all that sort of stuff, you know, that can spoil it, right? And some stuff that happens, you can't predict that. People are like, oh, why didn't you have a vision here or at this time, or why's the gaps in what? It's like, well, if you know certain aspects of an experience, you know certain aspects of an experience, and they're bestowed on you as you need to, right? And one of the things that can help in having some of the more opulent experiences or more subtle experiences recalled is that you give up. You're like, you know, hey, it's not about when I have this, right? The Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, tells about the various love dances. And if you skip to those without the greater context, you may not understand these things. Rasa Lila is for spontaneity, but it's developed as you develop your ceremonies, and sometimes an ease in practice, or sometimes a difficulty in practice. In order to do more practice, it may become more difficult. But then again, that initial practice that would have been so hard for some people is, you know, you can do it now. And we need to understand that some things are metaphors. And we don't have to go along with something just because others speak of it well. Now, Srila Rupa Gosvami related how a devotee thanked divinity for the fact that he was cleansed by his own tears, by his own shivering in ecstasy, and a realize of material limits. Now, he can't just sit at home. The journey started. Well, now this devotee's dead, obviously, but, that was his thing. He had that experience come to him. And as a result, life became a continual journey for the divine. The Mathura Mandala mentions birds chirping, which is a good one to bring up, as I am around some birds chirping. I'm not sure how much of it shows up on the video. And even if a person isn't devoted, they can feel the difference in some of these places. And some of these more sacred places than just a randomly dedicated temple precinct or temple room or whatever. There are some scientific correlations of oddity with, a few of these global places of worship. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:28 reminds us that we should carry out our duties if we can, both the stages of life and the classes of society, as long as they still have that attachment to the worship, that they're still approaching the eternal, that they're still developing their sentiment for the scripture, for the devotees, for the places of worship, for the places of pilgrimage, as references to one's devotion to divinity. And those other things that are listed, well, it's all just about God consciousness. There are immediate results. It may take a while to feel them. And there are also the results that build up.